Hi guys, my name is Bart Kamski and this is another giveaway asset for my Patreons, and this time this is engine sound. And it has different sounds for every gear. It has at least 4 sounds for every gear. And it has both far and close sounds, so they differs. Yeah. So I'm going to show you, first I'm going to show you how I recorded, because this is sound of Toyota Auris, I guess. Yeah, my brother's car. And I place one mic here. This is dynamic mic. And another one is right there. So one is closer to the engine and another one is bit farther. That's why I have both near and far sounds. So near sounds there's 5 sounds for neutral gear, 4 for next gears. Let's check the 4th one, and let's check the near sounds as well. And here is sound cue, where I have my near sounds right here, but they can be dynamically changed with wave parameter. So this is near 0, near 1, near 2, and so on. Here is continuous modulator to change the pitch of the sounds accordingly. Here's pitch 0, pitch 1, and so on. And here is crossfade to crossfade between those sounds. And here is also a continuous modulator for near sounds, and of course these are far sounds. Pitch is the same as here, crossfade is the same as here, but wave parameter, instead of near 0 like here, there is far 0 here. So these are near sounds and these are far sounds. It doesn't matter that they are near plugged here, because it dynamically change to the far sounds. And here is continuous modulator to transition crossfade between near sounds and far sounds with parameter near and far. And here's a mixer, and it goes output. You can plug sound attenuation settings here. You can do whatever you want. So let me show you how it works. This is a vehicle blueprint, and this engine sound is a actor component, and I got it here. So at the begin play, I casted the vehicle to get reference, and I spawned the sound, and I have it reference, and then I read sound values, because what the system does, these sounds have a specific name. The frequency of the sound is at the end, so there's 1399 and 3472, and here is 0 at the beginning, which means the current gear. So neutral is 0, first one is first, second one is second, and so on. And here is the second digit after 0 is index of current sound of this gear. So here my system reads those values and set up the pitch and the crossfade automatically, so you don't have to do it. So if you want to record your own sounds, and you put it here and you name it the same as mine, so the frequency will be at the end and the index will be second to last, and at the beginning will be the current gear. The system will recognize it and will adapt your sounds to the system, so you don't have to do any math. Just record the sound, name it properly with proper frequencies, and put it here, and you can use your sounds with this system. So let me show you how it works. So here it reads the 8 digit, which is this one, the first digit, which is the current gear, and also number of frequency digits, it's 4, but if you want to have slower frequencies or higher frequencies, you can change this digit to higher or lower value. So this checks the current gear, and this checks the index of the sound of the current gear, and it set up sounds per gear. This is sounds per gear combine, and here it checks the frequency of current sound and the next sound, and it changed the ratio between it and set up sound pitch ratio, and also sound pitch ratio 1 divided by sound pitch ratio, which is inverse. When here is 0.5, here is 2. And what else? So it checks this at the begin play, and then on tick it checks when you change the gear, and every time you change the gear it changed these values, wave parameter, it changed the current sound. So when the current gear is 0, it set up this group of sounds, and so on. It does it both for near and far sounds. What's next? Update crossfade. It's simple. It just reads the current RPM, and here is a map. So I set up maximum value to 5000, minimum to 0, and here is a float. It maps it to 0, 1. Here is the float curve. So mine is set up right here, but you can set up different flow if you want to have control over sound. So the sound, if you don't want the sound match exactly RPM, but you want to have more, variety in it, you can change it with this float. And here it also checks how many gear there is. So when you have more gears than 5, it adapts here, so you don't have to worry. Here is also debug. I will tell about it later. And let me just go back for a moment to gear. Here is the gear macro, and it checks the current gear. And since the current gear could be -1 because reverse is -1, I just add 1, so -1 is 0. And I select that both reverse gear, neutral gear, and first gear have the same first gear, which has index 0, and then it has first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, and so on. But you can arrange it as you want. If you want to have neutral to be neutral, but reverse to be as 1, and also first gear to be 1, you can just set up 1 here, and then next numbers here. It's up to you. What else do we have here? Here it updates pitch. It checks the current gear, and it set up the pitch value right here for every sound. And here is near far transition. So it is simple thing that I change with Q and E on the keyboard. This is camera transition between near and far sounds. I change the spring arm length, but also camera position, and here I read this camera position, and I check and I set up near far value, which are here, so I basically mix between them. Yeah, and at the end of this I have debug tick. So here are debug's values, so you don't have to drive your car to check the sounds. If you set up debug to true, and if you press 2, it goes from 0 to 1. If you press 1, it goes from 1 to 0. And if you press 4, you change the gear to bigger. If you press 3, you change the gear to and again with Q, and you can change the ratio between near and far sounds. So this whole is for debug. It just set up the speed and set up the current gear debug. Here are a clamp because I have 5 sounds, so it's clamp between 0 and 4. So yep. Here is debug. It changes from reading rotation speed of the actual car to our debug speed, and this is the same with the here, somewhere there. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is here. It changed from current gear of the actual car to our Debug current gear. So yeah, so this is for you. If you go to my Patreon and give me $5 a month, you will have access to this asset, and you will have access to previous asset, which is writing animation, and all the future asset that I'm about to give away for my patrons approximately once every 2 weeks. I'm keeping the schedule, so I'm proud of it. And yeah, this is for you. Thanks for my patrons I already have. This is thanks for Maurice Alexander, thanks for Jan Kaluza, my friend, thank you. Thanks for Ian Likovnik. You could be next one and have this asset, and you can use my sounds of Toyota Auris. Not a very great car, but you can record your own sounds, put it here, and just name it differently, and just make a array with those sounds, put it here, and replace my sounds with your sounds, and the system will do the math for you. So subscribe to my channel, leave a like if you like this video, go to my Patreon, pledge $5 to get this asset. Guys, thanks for watching, and see you next time.